Islam had talked about going up in the double champ.
Yep.
And now decided to vacate the title, go up to 170.
Hold it. You were telling me he wasn't vacating anything. He was going to hold that title, and you didn't want him going both ways. Well, guess what? You don't have to worry about that two-way thing now. He is vacating it.
Yeah, because I didn't want him to end up like Max Holloway, going up, putting the weight on. And I got to be honest with you, he's been talking about for a long time, like just getting tired of cutting the weight. This was back like when I was just getting done fighting. He's like, brother, I don't know how much longer I can do this weight class. It's, and look how long he's been doing it. But success does that to you. You find ways to keep doing what you're doing when you're having a lot of success. Yeah. But I also look at it too. He has nothing more to gain at 155. There's a couple guys in there that he could fight. The Sarukian fight really did interest me, even though he's beat Sarukian before. Yeah, but it's not the same Sarukian.
Exactly. And he's fought him. The one guy that I would have kind of liked to have seen him fight would have been Gaethje. I think that would have been a fun fight to watch, but it's okay. I mean, everybody else, he's kind of been there, done that. Maybe not as champion, but he did it before he was champion. So he's been through everybody in the lightweights. I totally understand him going to welterweight. He is a big body anyways, like you're saying. And at 155, it's a bitch to get to. I think the 170, first off, he's going to fill out even more. He's going to feel better. And I think, frame-wise, he fits in there.
Yeah, he does.
He's not huge, but frame-wise, he fits.
He's a big boy, though. Like, he's a big boy. I mean, like, he walks around 5'11", 6 foot, walks around. That's how tall he is. But he walks around about 192, 193. He'll fit in just fine.
Yeah.
And I think he'll end up walking pretty much what JDM walks around. JDM's a big guy for the weight as well.
Yeah.
So he might be a little bit smaller frame-wise than JDM, but it's going to, I think, matchup-wise, it makes for a really fun fight. And I'm not combing over JDM, and I said that about him and Bilal.
No. I think you are a little.
Yeah, people keep talking about, and I'm going to go back to Islam real quick. He has nothing to gain at 55. I want to just put that to rest. Everyone's like, oh, well, he's ducking Ilya. He's never ducked anybody in his life.
Not ducking.
And so, and so it just kind of gets to the point where I'm like, there's going to always be that one more guy for you to fight. I said that about John Jones when he was like, oh, he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. There's always going to be one more guy for you to beat. Doesn't matter who it is. It's always going to happen. Someone say, yeah, he left before he had to fight the tough guys, all this other stuff, this nonsense.
You got to end it no matter if it's weight classes changed or whatever. It's got to end at some point.
This is a dangerous fight for Islam, John. A very dangerous one. Your first one against someone who is very good at stuffing takedowns. Very good. And everyone's like, oh, what about Gilbert Burns? Yeah, but Bilal didn't have success getting the takedowns and controlling the takedowns. Now, different styles of takedowns. For this fight. Completely different styles. Now, Islam will be able to get to the legs a little bit more, I think, in this fight, but he'll hit a lot more single legs, kind of snap downs, kind of dumps, elevate, lift a little bit, kind of those kind of things. I think for him, it was kind of difficult for him to get to the legs on the 55 pounders because they're all midgets, compared to him. So it just, he just works. I think he's a true 6 foot. I know his stats say 5'11". I think he's a true 6 foot. I mean, you put him next to John Fitch. John Fitch is a true 6 foot, almost 6'1", and they're right there side by side. So, I think honestly that this is going to be a great fight. I'm pumped. I did want to say one thing though, John. We got destroyed in the comments for the JDM thing. Start talking about how we didn't give JDM any credit because he stuffed takedowns in rounds 3,
nothing but credit.
I said, what are you guys talking about? They're like, oh, you act like Bilal didn't shoot. There's a difference between shooting in rounds 1 and 2 and grinding on someone and making a difference in that first 2 rounds versus shooting on them in rounds 3, 4, and 5. When you've already stood up for the last 2 rounds, almost 3 rounds, taking shots. Your energy level, like is in a video game, has gone down. It's not the same.
Did we not say that JDM fought a fucking fantastic fight?
Yeah, I know. We got crucified, man.
Okay,
we got crucified.
Well, and now that's why I don't read the comments.
Okay, so John, tell me what you think of this matchup, and obviously this fight will not happen probably till somewhere around September.
Yeah, you got to give JDM time to recover from. He took a lot of damage in that fight with Bilal. They both did, and you got to give him time to recover, get back, and then get back into a camp and stuff. So I agree with you. It's not going to be until the end of summer, probably fall. But it's going to be this year, and it's going to be a fantastic matchup. I think that, they both have their routes to victory.
Mm-hmm.
And I do agree with you. I think that the takedown defense is going to have to be different. He's going to have to work on different things. He's definitely going to have to work on body locks and foot sweeps and those things that Islam also likes to go backside, which is not easy to stop when someone is pulling you one way and getting you to and you're giving a little bit of resistance, and all of a sudden he's taking you the opposite way, which Islam does all the time. Very difficult stuff. So there's things he's going to have to work on to keep himself from being taken down. But he's got the time, and he's got the people around him that, are helping him to get really good on the ground. And, Craig Jones has done a fantastic job with a couple of guys from Australia. So look, he's a problem in the stand-up. He's a serious problem. The southpaw aspect is going to be interesting, how it mixes in there. But this is the kind of fight you're looking for. I love having a former champion that just drops the title to go up to take on the brand new, because basically this is very similar. If you're looking at it, you had Islam Makhachev beats Charles Oliveira, and who was his first fight? A guy that was a long-time featherweight champion in Alexander Volkanovski, right? Going up. So this is the same type of thing. This is the long-standing champion of Islam in the lightweight with the brand new champion in JDM. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, for me, it all comes down to how Islam's able to not so much, he doesn't have to put the weight on. He's just going to be fighting at the weight he normally trains at. The one thing about, like with Khabib and with Islam, they didn't start really losing their weight until probably the last 2 weeks. Like, and I mean 2 weeks is in the week of the fight and then the week before the fight. So their last training sessions were literally like Wednesday or Thursday before the week before the fight. Yeah. And it was real casual. They had already done all the work. They're constantly training. They know exactly what their body can do. They start focusing on the weight cut. That last week of hard training wasn't really hard for them. Like their focus was on, let me get 3 hard rounds or 5 hard rounds of whatever it was. But then I was done for the day. Do their cardio, get their sweat, worry about their nutrition and their diet, get their, get hydrated, all those things to start water loading, whatever it was to start losing their weight. For me, it has to do with how he carries the weight inside the fight. That's going to be a big, that's going to be something I take a look at right as soon as they get inside the cage. JDM though, he showed a lot this last fight. And if I'm Islam, I'm looking at, this is the most we've seen from him in the success that he's had. In terms of we saw the best JDM against Bilal Muhammad. But I think what you're going to see is, and even JDM's like, most people think he's going to take me down and submit me. That's what I think. That's exactly what I think. I'm not trying to knock JDM. I'm simply saying I think he's going to take the same approach that he took with Charles Oliveira. He's going to stand with him a little bit because he's not just going to rush in and try and shoot the takedown. But he's going to stand with them a little bit. He's going to fill it out. And he's going to go ahead and touch him a little bit and see if he can land something. That southpaw head kick's going to be there, mixed in with some combinations. And then when they work their way to the clinch, JDM did leave himself available to be in the clinch. Not so much available to get to be attacked with the leg takedowns, but to the clinch, the upper body clinch, he was available for that. And that's where Islam pretty much makes his career. You go back and you watch the Arman Sarukian fight. Arman can wrestle. He was able to foot sweep him several times right to his back. He was able to take him down several times with that. Sean, come on, buddy.
Oh, man. I can't.
You know what's crazy is that you see yourself in the photo and you still
I don't look over there. It's too far over, man. It's like I don't even want to see.
You don't look over there. And sadly, I just got to make eye contact the whole time. But bottom line is I look at Islam and I think to myself, I'm glad that you vacated the title. You don't want to hold up that weight class. You have nothing else to prove in that weight class. Now you have 100% focus on winning this title at welterweight. When fighters leave a weight class and keep the title, I often wonder,
I have something to fall back on.
Yes. And I'm glad that he's not doing that because he's all in. And I really believe the reason why he's all in is because he's tired of making that weight. It's disgusting. If you guys have seen photos of him when he's the week of the fight, he's sucking on ice chips, basically walking around looking miserable. They're in comas that week, and then they make the weight and then they're, back to where they should be.
He's not only looking miserable, he's feeling miserable.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so to see him be able to perform like I know he can perform, we haven't seen and I said this when he was fighting at 55. people didn't believe me. Right before he fought Charles, I said, you guys haven't seen anything yet. Like, he's got so many more tools and weapons that people just don't see, because it's also a lot harder to push that pace, not knowing those guys are going to push back in a real fight. But he's got so much more to offer even now. And I mean, like, and that was when I trained with him a long time ago. I can only imagine how much better he's gotten since I haven't trained with him. And so just seeing the success he's had, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at 170. Maybe he gets it done, maybe he doesn't. But look, this is a very tough fight. Yeah. Very tough fight for him. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for him to get the opportunity to win a second title.